How is it going, you lovely lot? And welcome back to Park to Prem. Yesterday was the job hunt. Today we get into business. Here we are at Lewes FC in the relegation zone. Hopefully not for long. Now, Lewes FC were founded in 1885. The Rucks play at the Dripping Pan Stadium, and as we can see from their league history, it has been a little bit up and down, from a dizzying height of the National South to now being stuck in the Isthmian Premier Division for the last 8 years. Hopefully we're going to be the manager to bring about some change. Heading into the season, expectations were rather high here at the club, and by rather high, I mean the dizzying heights of 14th. Yes, a mid-table finish was forecast. It's not how this season's played out, though. The team currently sit in the drop zone, 2 points away from safety, 20 games played in the season. We are 1 game away from the halfway mark. There's a lot of work to be done here. Sadly, no work to be done in the cup competitions. We are out of all of them. Board expectation for this year, though, is still a mid-table finish. I'm hoping they're going to give me a little bit of leeway on that. Given the players that we've got, I do have some concerns. Namely, because here is the first team in all its glory, and I'm going to be honest, there's some glaring issues with it. Firstly, Dan Bowery, who is without a doubt our best centre-back, is leaving the club. The Antiguan and Bermuda international is leaving to join All Saints. He's also the club captain. And I feel like when the captain's jumping ship, that's not a good sign. Current top goal scorer at the club is Dan Bassett, another player who is wanted by teams elsewhere. He is another player who is not on a full-time deal. He's not on a part-time deal. He's on one of these pay-as-you-go deals where he gets paid per match. That does mean he could leave us at any time. I have just added another column to our view here in game with appearance fees. We have Jack Birchall here, who's been paid £350 per appearance. And for his ability, I'm questioning if he should even be here. The club currently has a wage budget of £2,400 a week. One thing to note is, although a lot of these players here aren't on week-to-week wages, there is still a portion of their appearance fees that does get taken out of the wage budget. So it would maybe be in my interest to get rid of Jack. We do actually have a couple £100 left on the wage budgets. There's £300 to maybe bring in some players. I think I can also adjust some scouting budget into transfer budget, and then maybe also put that into wage budget. Or maybe I can't. I think that is one of those FM26 things where if I hit continue, I can put some money from the transfer budget into the wage budget. We'll worry about that in a mo. Ansu Jane looks like a great little defensive midfielder for this level. He is the club vice-captain, bags of ability. Sadly, he is one of, I think, 3 defensive mids in the entire team. The first team squad does currently sit at 23 players, and there are some glaring gaps in it. Yeah, here are our defensive mid options. I don't love them with respect to someone like Ian Gale, who is, I believe, on a lot of money per appearance. £200 per appearance for Ian. And I suppose another area of concern is the defence as a whole. Dan Bowery is leaving the club, which is going to leave us maybe a little light on defenders. Even in the right-back and left-back areas, it's not much better. Bernal here is a very good right-back. I think we're going to need to keep this guy around. Asiadu can play left-back, but they are pretty much the only full-back options. That is unless I want to count Mason Ojo, who is a regen who started his time at the club in the first season and should probably not even be in the first team. I'm going to move him to the under-21s. I will make a deal with you. If this video has 5,000 likes by the end of the week on Friday, we'll do a weekend upload of Park to Prem. How does that sound? Sound good? Go down below and leave a like then. If you were hoping for some redeeming qualities in the coaching staff, it's just me and Andy at the moment. There's just me and the under-21s manager having a lovely time. Also, he is the under-21s manager, but his preferred job is a scout. Interesting. Currently, we don't have an assistant manager, a head of youth development. We have got some spots for coaches and stuff, but obviously at this level, I'm not going to have a massive backroom staff team, and also, it's going to cost me money, and at this level, money is not an infinite resource. Now, to be fair, in real life, Lewes FC are a fan-owned club, and I have to say, in-game, they have some pretty darn healthy finances for this level. I suspect that if we last in the job longer than a year, the wage budget might go up a little bit, because currently there is £250,000 in the bank, and a healthy profit has been made through the season so far. Hopefully, we can kind of keep things nice and levelled off, and then reinvest, well, when the board decide I'm allowed to reinvest. Just for a little bit of context, our wages per year are £126,000. If we go to someone like Chatham, who I believe recently went pro in real life, their wages are over 4 times higher than ours a year. So, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, we are up against it a little bit. I am conscious of the fact that I've got Jay Williams and Starkey in on loan, who, at least in terms of star ratings, aren't very good, and are on a lot of money per week. Like someone like Ollie Starkey here, I have no doubt is a decent little forward in real life. Football Manager doesn't do him justice. The money makes absolutely no sense. Can I terminate his loan? I can't. Right, I'm sorry, Ollie, you're gone. I mean, Jay, on the other hand, is on £400 a week. Can I terminate his loan? It's greyed out. I don't know if that's because for Reading the transfer window's closed. I mean, he's a good centre-back. He's not £400 good, is he? The facilities at the club here are actually pretty good. The stadium, the Dripping Pan, is actually meant to be a very good stadium in real life. I believe it has padded seats from Wembley and beach huts that look over the ground, which I know sounds mental. Apparently that is a thing. And I will say that for long-term Park to Prem fans, don't worry, we are bringing back the away days this year. Just not for the first episode. There's a lot to catch you up on here at the club. Now, my first game in charge is in 5 days' time. We are taking on Dartford away from home. They're in 16th. I don't want to say it too loudly. It might be a winnable game. I'm going to go look at this squad a little bit further. I think there's a few players here at the top I need to release. I want to try and get in some of my own talent. There's no transfer window, and I feel like we need reinforcements immediately. As N'Golo Kante once said, ladies and gentlemen, it's match day. There's a minor issue here. I kind of got rid of a lot of players, right? We're down to a senior first team of 18 players, and no replacements have arrived bar one. I don't have a lot of centre-backs. I don't have a lot of full-back coverage, but Jack Birchall was just on too much money, so we've released him. Ian Gale also, not a bad player by any means. He was just simply on far too much money for what he offered. And the third and final player that we released in Charlie Walker, a decent striker by all accounts, but actually of all the areas in the team where we're lacking, one area we're certainly not is the attacking third. We've got some really good attacking talent for this level. We have made one early signing. Jaden Foxwell has joined us from Trewyn Stars in the second tier of Wales. He was actually in the Media Dream 11 in the Welsh South second division. I decided to try and loan him. I've got him in on loan. He is a left back. He is only here to the end of the season, albeit, but on £130 a week, I think he's going to offer some immediate quality. I think alongside Clement Asaidu, the left-back position should hopefully have enough coverage now. He wasn't the only addition we've made, though. I have an assistant manager and I have a head of youth development. Unfortunately, perhaps they are the same person. Mark Pike, welcome to the club. New assistant manager, has good working with youngsters. Not necessarily expecting the world from him, but he was a man who could do both jobs and wasn't asking for an arm and a leg. So welcome, Mark. This could be the start of a beautiful relationship. I have been offering some trials to players that play in the left back and right back area looking for depth. I'll be honest, the first few players I've brought in, highlighted in yellow here, not very good. And I really have bigged up the transfer room feature this year in Football Manager. I think it's brilliant. It just turns out it's absolutely useless at this level. I set some requirements and no one has replied with any players, which is unfortunate. Have got some players that we are waiting on hopefully signing. The first is Danny Devine. This guy is 25 years old, can play right back, but I also would like to train him to play centre back. I actually think as a centre back, he could be a great little player. We've given him a wage offer, I think, of £60 per week. He only wanted to be an emergency backup. I could see him being a bit more useful than that. Obviously, we've released Jack Birchall, who could play centre-back, and our captain is leaving us, so I need some more centre-backs. Josh Pask is a man I've got my eye on. He would be joining us on, I think, £180 a week if I sign him. It'd be a big old chunk in my budget. He's a very good defender for this level, though. And Luke Dreyer is the last player I'm looking at. The 27-year-old, I remember, used to be a wonder kid like 10 years ago in Football Manager when he was playing for Crystal Palace. He has actually played for Lewes in his career. Unfortunately, I know he's had a lot of issues with injuries. I've had to make an offer of £270 for this guy. I'm waiting on the scout report to come in. I'm nervous about his injury proneness. I think I might cancel this one. I was able to jig some of that transfer budget that we got from the scouting budget into the wages. There is a little bit more money than we initially had to spend. Obviously, plenty of players released too. I just don't know if Dreyer's worth spending half that money I freed up on. Now, it's safe to say things here at Lewes haven't exactly gone to plan this season for them, and I was trying to work out, where's it gone wrong? I will apologise for the fact the Data Hub does not look very good in FM26, just follow along with me here. Look, I was looking at the team. I was looking at stuff like midfielder sprints, where I'm thinking, wow, the team has loads of players covering lots of ground. That's great. When you see the reason why, it's really not. I know what you're thinking. Are they playing a counter-attacking style? Are they playing roles where they need to run around up and down the pitch? I mean, technically, they kind of are. The previous manager was playing a 4-4-2 in possession and a 5-3-2 out of possession. And I'll be honest, I don't really understand how this formation could even work with and without the ball, with all the transitioning. I think the entire team's been doing the cha-cha slide whenever they lose possession. I can see why they're struggling if this is how they've set up. I mean, just comparing the team to the league averages, there is a clear issue at getting shots away and getting the ball into the advanced areas. And it wouldn't entirely surprise me if the fact they're trying to transition from that 5-3-2 into a 4-2-4 is a main reason for that. And another area where the team has been struggling, and again, I think this just comes back to the in and out possession formations, the centre-backs are losing the ball a lot. I feel like we need to be a little bit safer in possession. I think it goes without saying, after the first half of the season, we have to view ourselves as underdogs going into games, and that's why I've decided to go for a kind of counter-attacking system. When we don't have the ball, I want us to just play a 5-4-1. It's nothing flashy or fancy, but we need to get players behind the ball. We have an abundance of average centre-backs and a lack of centre defensive mids or centre mids, so I think this makes sense. I do feel a bit sad for Finlay Chadwick. He's a centre-attacking mid by trade. He is going to have to learn to play a deeper role for us. But if he can pick this up as kind of a deeper, more creative player, I think he could be very useful. And when it came to building this team, I really looked to the final third as a place where we can make stuff work. We have Bassett, who can play out on the left-hand side, great little player who can play at left wing and striker. On the right-hand side, we have Calm Bennett, who's a slightly younger and quicker player, but again, a striker who can play in those wide areas. And through the middle, Shea Hutchinson is an absolute baller, but the previous manager hasn't got a song out of him. Great pace for this level, decent off the ball, really well-rounded technicals as well. The 25-year-old is someone who I feel like should be returning more goals than he scored so far. And with these three players, I think they are just the main outlet for us. So in terms of how we're looking to play, without the ball, Bassett and Bennett are going to drop wide. When we do have the ball, we're going to the hallowed three strikers. If you watch Park to Prem with Towel or Town, you're pumping your fist right now. This is a similar shape to the one we ran in that save game in the Premier League. I do want to try and build the play up from the back rather than just pumping it up to our three attackers, simply because they're not the best players in the air, and I do feel like with Foxwell's addition and Bernal in the wing-back areas, we have got a little bit of ability to make stuff happen. So building out the ball from the back, we're going to distribute it to centre-backs. As we get into the midfield, you can kind of see the shape emerging here. The left centre-mid is going to have that permission to get slightly further up the pitch. We are looking to pass it into space, and I'm hoping that those channel forwards are going to have a little bit of space to run into on the counter-attack. And then in the final third, I'm really hoping the wing-backs are just going to be able to swing in some low balls to Bassett, Hutchinson and Bennett. With their pace, I feel like they're going to be able to get in behind opposition defenders, especially because of our bad start to the year. I think teams are maybe going to underestimate us a little bit and play on the front foot too much. Out of possession, of course, we're not doing anything too fancy here. It's just a 5-4-1 at all stages of play. I wanted to just try and be difficult to break down. The defence has not been good this year so far. And again, to try and help invite teams onto us, we are going to play with a lower defensive line. No point in trying to stop goalkeeper short distributions with just Hutchinson left up front. Doesn't mean we're not going to press when the opportunity presents itself, but I am looking for quick turnovers to quickly then spring the attack, get our two wide players alongside Hutchinson, and just try and cause some issues on the defensive line. I have no doubt we are going to be adapting it over the next 22 matches. Right now, we only have a first-team squad of 17 players. There are some players in the youth team that I could promote if we get injuries. Of course, I am looking to recruit some players in. One thing to note is only 5 players on the bench at this level. So, yeah, it's not like I need to have a load of backups, really. Coming into this game with 5 wins in 20 games, can we try and cause a bit of an upset today? I really, really want to. One man I've not talked about who looks happy in goal, Ollie Camis. Free agent signed from Bournemouth. Not something that's happened in real life, but the previous manager brought him in. Might be the only good decision the previous manager made in Football Manager. Looks like they are going to be playing a 4-3-3. I kind of feel like this might match up quite nicely for us. I just feel like a 5 at the back that we play without the ball against 3 attackers, like, we should be able to man-mark them and then some. Okay, this is my first time seeing a lower league stadium in FM26. My word, Dartford Stadium, I want to say it's beautiful. That might be stretching the definition of beauty slightly. No one has ever described Dartford as beautiful. All I'm saying is there's a reason the most notable landmark in Dartford is the bridge that takes you away from Dartford. Anyway, Janet, let's get it forward. I'm just on Dartford. Apologies to the Dartford faithful. But now, curtain inside. Where are you going? The right back shoots. I mean, it would have been incredible. It could still be. Foxwell shoots wide. I think there was an offside there, but good to see both wing-backs kind of helping out the attack and really kind of forming a line of 5 attackers. I want them getting high up the pitch. Really trying to overwhelm this back 4. Halfway through the first half, no goal conceded. The only shot on target has gone our way. This is fine. I mean, I kind of want to win from here. I'll tell you what, if the Lewes fans think I'm bringing some sexy football, they might be questioning that right now. It's 0-0 at the break. There's been one highlight all half. Okay, got shouty for the first time in Park to Prem this year. They're all fired up. I wish I could say I've got a load of options on off the bench that I could tempt myself into bringing on. I really don't. The options on the bench aren't there. We have absolutely no squad depth, which is always concerning if we do find ourselves a goal down. The ball is whipped in, it's headed away. Can we now spring the counter-attack? Bassett bringing it forward. We have pacey attackers. It's our big strength. The 2 wingers link up. Shea Hutchinson shoots. But why has he done that? He's hit the crossbar. I can't really be upset. That was amazing. I'm beginning to understand why Shea Hutchinson hasn't got the goals you might expect him to have with his ability, if that's the kind of shot decision-making he's making. I'm just looking at my sub-options and I kind of feel sad. I mean, I've got Clark, who's a decent little player who can play out on the left-hand side and at striker, so he fits the system nicely. He has got 13 acceleration and pace. You know what, Billy? I'm bringing you on. Perry Ndolo is another player we could bring on. He can play on the right, but also as a striker. Takes a little while for him to get up to pace, but once he's up to speed, he's got 13 of it. I feel like with our system, the wide players have to do a lot of running, and it's going to be a frequent change this year just to get fresh legs on in that part of the pitch. Anyway, we've made the changes. Let's see if they can make something happen. It's Billy Clark giving it to Chadwick. Foxwell, Chadwick. Can we make something happen here? Centre-back stepping forward, gives it to Foxwell. The Welshman on his debut. Imagine if he can turn hero immediately. Back post, it's whipped! Perry! I love Perry hot sauce! I will say, I do also love Perry Ndolo. I don't know why everything has to be about food with me. We have had a little bit more of the ball, but now we've got to try and see it out. Our 5 men at the back need to park the tank here as they try and make something happen. Ball stands on the ball, gives it to a man whose name I'm not going to say correctly, so I won't say it. They've hit the post. We get it away. And what is happening? This is chaotic. They've got us pinned back. I'm not having fun. Can we... And the highlight, timeout, thank you. Foxwell over the corner. The left back already has 1 assist. Imagine if he gets another. Imagine if my signing of the season ends up being a man from the Welsh 2nd Division. Jay Williams scores. It's 2-0 Lewes. Ball was whipped towards the near post. We had 1 man meet v3. And Williams is the man who jumps highest. I'd like to apologise to Jay Williams for the fact that I said he was overpaid on £400 a week. He's definitely worth it. I mean, what a performance this has been. They had won 1 of their last 2 games, to be fair, Lewes. But maybe now we can get some momentum going. That mid-table finish, I still feel like is a lofty goal. But now the right-back whips in. Clark's there. Falls to Foxwell. Could he score on his debut? Jaden Foxwell is the greatest footballer in our team. It was whipped to the back post, headed away, but that left wing back just appears from out of nowhere, shows the composure to take it down, and tucks it away. I mean, I'll tell you what, Foxwell's made me look like a bloody genius, hasn't he, at left back? Wowzer. What a win, what a performance, 3-0. And a clean sheet. When he arrived and I saw his star rating, I thought maybe I've made an error bringing in this man. He might only have 1 strength. I don't care if he's weak as hell. If he can put in crosses and score goals, he doesn't need to lift weights. He arrived this week. The fans want a permanent deal struck for him. Maybe we'll have to try and sign him permanently. I mean, he's out of contract at the end of the season. Who says no? I mean, look, I don't want to get too carried away. We're out the relegation zone. I'm just a genius. But I am kind of secretly hoping now that with that win there and maybe getting in a few more players, we can get some momentum going. Our next game is against one of the promotion favourites in Chatham Town. That's going to be more of a challenge. Some good news ahead of our next game. Danny Devine set to join the club. I think I said earlier it was on £60 a week. It's actually on £45. And Josh Pask has also agreed to join us. He is joining on £180, which is less of a bargain, but there is no denying he is that step up, and I need a quality centre-back. Oh, I don't know if I want to do this deal. He's turned down 2 alternative offers, Luke Dreyer, to join us. £270 a week for this guy. There is a concern. It's this injury history. He is an injury-prone player, and I don't think it's worth the risk. I mean, I'm not being funny. We've signed Devine for £45. Like, I could sign a few more players like Danny, or one big signing who might be injured for a long time. I'm going to cancel it. I hope I don't regret this decision. There is no denying that Luke is good. That does mean that currently I've got no deals going on. For some reason, if you offer players trials and they reject them, even if you turn off inactive transfers, they don't disappear, which is annoying. Don't suspect we're going to get another deal done before the next game, but there's about £400 in the wage budget, so make no mistake, we are going to be able to continue to improve our team. Interesting to note, Chatham Town we take on in a few days' time. They've just won a game midweek. Maybe they're going to be tired when they play us. The non-league paper want to talk with me. After last episode, absolutely not. Terrible the space? No. No, never again. Does go without saying, if you didn't see yesterday's video, the job hunt, you should go watch it after today's video to understand how we got here. It was quite the adventure. Opposition for this next game, Chatham Town, obviously they have a wage budget 4 times higher than ours. Just looking at their most played formations, almost certainly just going to play a single striker formation, which is something I really want to see. With how we play with the 3 centre-backs, where we're distributing it to the centre-backs, when we're going up against a lone striker, there's always 2 players free to build it out from the back with. In terms of team selection for this game, Pask is going to come in for his debut. We're paying him the big bucks. I need him to perform at the back. And as for the other new boy, Intervene, he is on the bench. Yeah, we are at home here at the Dripping Pan in all its glory. Not an easy game, though. We didn't have match sounds for the last game. I'm putting them on for this one, but let me know down in the comments, match sound on or off. I actually feel like it's not as bad as it used to be in FM. It helps me get immersed as... Well, that was a rather speculative effort, wasn't it, for our first shot of the game. Free kick, Foxwell, the hero of last game with his wand of a left foot, working it really nicely with Bennett. Players queuing up in the middle, whipped towards the back post, cleared away. Only as far as Williams, who, well, looks to rather ambitiously dink it. It's going to fall the way of Chadwick. Is Bassett onside there? I think the number 10 is. He plays it across, and Shea Hutchinson scores to give us the lead. I'm not one to criticise the logistics team here. Are there too many stewards for the amount of fans we've got in the crowd? Like, there's quite a lot of... There's more stewards than people behind the goal, I think. We have taken the lead in this game with their system of a striker and a centre attacking mid, with kind of the 3 at the back and the 2 defensive mids. We should be able to play it out from the back really comfortably and boss possession. That's what's happened so far, although they have immediately drawn level. I'll tell you what, I ranted about the trees in Football Manager for years. In this stadium where we don't have a stand at one end, we're going to see all the trees. I'm very happy about that. Look at this. Look at the beautiful Sussex countryside on the horizon. God, I'm an easy man to please. I feel like I should be more cross about that goal. Don't care. Trees. Right, Foxwell. What can you do here? The hero of last game. The fans want him on a permanent deal, and I might be convinced. They do the same routine again. It's played in. I mean... That just looked really good, didn't it? I mentioned it when I talked about the tactic. Passing it into space on the channel forwards, trying to get in behind kind of the fullbacks, just like that, is going to be key. I really wish I could say I've planned that routine. That's just Football Manager match engine magic, isn't it? Foxwell over a corner. We're up to 15th. Blimey, I'm on cloud 9. And now... we've scored a goal with Bowery. It's 3-1. This is going far too well. This is just going far too well. I mean, Bowery's not going to be here in January. I've got to make them use of his forehead while we can. I will say we have scored 3 goals from 4 shots. In fact, it's not been a good day for goalies. It's a great day, though, if you are a Lewes FC fan. We are looking to make it 2 wins in a row, and I'm just going to get the green happy smiley faces and tell all the players I'm happy. I mean, last game I changed up the wingers. I don't want to do it in this game because our attack is playing so well. We conceded 1 goal from nothing. They've got a set piece. That is always going to make me feel a little nervous. They give it short. Allen whips it towards the back post, and we've had a moment of madness. Bowery, who scored, has given away a pen. And now Chatham with a chance from the spot. Number 8, O'Keefe, steps up. Oh my word, Camus is a god. We're just amazing. Sometimes it just feels like it's your day. It feels like that right now. Have brought in Devine for his debut at centre-back. Hopefully he is not going to put a foot wrong here as well. We look to maybe score some more. We are looking good in this game. Bassett has been the man of the match by a mile, and he very nearly had an assist. Still 2 goals to the good, just a couple of minutes left. If they score that penalty, I feel like it's a very different last 10, 20 minutes in this game here. Instead, it feels comfortable for now as we, well, heroically get the ball away with our back 5. Although, what are we doing, Bernal? Federa behind. That was not far wide. 3 minutes of added time. I think we are going to get 2 wins in 2 and our first win in our first home game. And this is a really good performance. Bassett, 10.0 rating. Also, for some reason, there's like an alien invasion going on in the background. Kind of reminds me of Cloverfield, if you've seen that movie. Let's not question it, it's FM26 things. I mean, on the one hand, I'm delighted Bassett's got on all those goals. On the other hand, it just makes other teams aware of his ability, doesn't it? If I'm not mistaken, Dan Bassett has played in the Ballers League in real life, and I think he's actually serving an FA ban at the moment for another month regarding some betting infringements. Don't tell the people at Football Manager I need him playing for me at the moment. Anyway, folks, we did make it a double match special for the opening episode. Really hope you enjoyed it. Loads to cram in. When we're back, hopefully some transfers, hopefully some improvement, and I would like a nice relaxing mid-table finish to start season 1. There will be signings made. I'll talk to you tomorrow about them. Same time and place as always, midday UK time every weekday. Oh, tell your friends, Park to Prem is back.